Cat wanted out at the last second.
No, Cat doesn't want out now, but Cat's going to want out in like 5 minutes, which is going to result in me being attacked because I'm the only thing in the room that can let him out. So I decided to skirt that little incident and just say you're going outside now.
Feel that. Right. Welcome back to the Frith Guild podcast. I'm your host, Eric.
And I'm co-host Scott.
And today we are going over the last 7 chapters of the Frith Chronicles series of Grandmaster Arcanist.
Whoa!
Oh my goodness! It all comes down to this.
8 books leading up to this final moment.
My goodness. All right. So getting into it today, chapter 46, the Autarch. We open the scene up with the kraken that is attacking Gentle, and we know that Gentle can only produce a shield or a force field, and the kraken ends up destroying the guild manor.
Sad face. Like the breakable thing that it can reach.
Right. And like there's so much that happened in that guild manor, like this is bullshit. In the meantime, the Garuda bird is fighting with the Corona Phoenix, the Sky Titan, and Terracana all at the same time. Ships are plowing into Fortuna, carrying a whole mess of corpses. And we see the endless undead come into the scene. And this is just like the craziest looking undead dragon thing that could have been imagined, I think. So we have Zaxxas, Bjorn, Linus, and Zor entering the fray, coming in to help try to attack the endless undead, because we know that these undead corpses essentially are going to never die, so we just need to do everything we can to cause them to stop. The whole time the endless undead is just spewing blood, and basically everybody's in it to win it now, and we're fighting the Autarch. He shows face into the battle itself because he can feel some things are shifting. We did notice that when Ezreal was around, the undead enemies became weaker, and I assume just the magic between the undead and the Keeper of Corpses kind of negates each other. They can kind of play, and as soon as the plague-ridden blood is getting spewed all over the place by the endless undead, the Autarch starts using his Armageddon aura on the infected Arcanist and Eldarin and causing them to just explode. Like,
yeah, his plan was to infect everybody, then pop them.
like a zit. And when they first started talking about the endless undead just spewing blood everywhere, I was like, that's kind of weird that he's throwing up blood, like it's not acidic. And then not too much longer after that, before the Autarch starts using his Armageddon aura, I was like, oh, I bet it's infected. Oh no.
Blood does one thing in these books.
Right. We don't have any Reapers around, so we can't use that to bloodstab. And I'm like, now Volke is thinking on his feet, and he starts to use his salvation aura to counteract the Autarch's aura. And this is when the Autarch like comes out of his ship. He has his golden kirin with him, and he actually starts to use the golden kirin's aura to amplify everybody else around.
Brings us to chapter 47, the preeminence aura. Well, all of the god creatures from the Autarch are now empowered, so he's already stronger because he's been bonded longer, he knows magic better, and now he's got an extra aura to back him up. Garuda Bird is trying to circle around, get behind the army, attack from behind. Linus is pretty much able to like slice off a piece of the endless undead, but similar to undead things, that just kind of spurted another head and kept going. He kind of lost his tongue, which at first you're like, man, this is horrible. And I'm like, well, he only speaks telepathically anyway, so like this might be okay.
His tongue is so cool with the runes on it.
No, it does have runes. Magic-born runes. Very cool that. So Autarch and Volke start to get into a sword fight. They're both covered in, well, the Autarch's covered in Apoc Dragon armor, so Retribution no longer is super powered against him. Volke does realize that kind of the weak link in all of this is the kirin. It's not strong physically, and if you kill the kirin, the Autarch loses his ability to be bonded to multiple creatures, so he would pretty much have his soul sucked away immediately because he would still be bonded to 3 god creatures at that point. He's fighting the Autarch, and the Autarch starts to pretty much walk on air, which is really unfortunate because it takes away Volke's tremor sense and his ability to track and just mess with the Autarch through his evocation. And this is really due to kind of Grudabird magic going on. He keeps fighting to get to the kirin, but it keeps on evading him. It seems to know almost ahead of time what's going to happen, so it's able to dodge. And Volke does notice that it has this strange artifact hanging on its neck that he's not really sure what it is, but feels important. Then this chapter just had a number of monologues that I really appreciated between the Autarch, between Volke. Everybody was just getting their 2 cents in.
Going back to the kirin artifact, she doesn't use the word pink or use the word pink to describe almost anything except for like one thing.
I had a feeling when you weren't quite sure what it was going to do, but like he described it, I was like, yeah, that comes from one corpse that would have been harvested from. So it's very worrisome what that necklace can do.
Moving into chapter 48, the grand finale, Zelfrey has finally been able to make a stable Chimera aura. Orwin is just now starting to empower the Sky Titan. I mean, I kind of feel like he could have been doing this a little bit earlier. Thankfully, everybody kind of realizes that they all need to be attacking the Golden Kirin, and they all pick up on Volke's idea of taking out the Kirin to take out the Autarch. And again, the kirin is just doing its best to make sure that it stays one step ahead of everybody else. We see the Abyssal Kraken ended up slicing Orwin and her kirin, stopping her aura, and doing some severe damage to the kirin, her kirin and herself. Nobody messes with Papa Daddy Kiva's woman, okay?
Yeah, he's an assassin for a reason.
Akiva ends up somehow managing to get to the kirin out of nowhere and touching her, causing her to die. So, he's got this awesome King Basilisk Venom that kills it. And we can just see that, like, the moment of triumph. Like, yes, we won! And, of course, like we were talking about the artifact earlier, they took the Soul Forge's body back with it when it died and ended up making at least one artifact out of it to revive the Golden Kirin.
It had a 1-0 token.
Yes. It's like Ready Player One, just happened to have it.
Coin.
So with that, we thought we had the W, but now we have to continue fighting. We aren't 100% sure, but we are under the assumption that the Abyssal Hells actually open, because they're describing it as like the ocean essentially being rotated 90 degrees, or the whole world being rotated 90 degrees, and they feel like souls are ripping at them, like just death by 1,000 cuts. Volke is able to, again, think on his feet, and he ended up creating a canyon to help drain the abyssal waters that are surrounding him and the rest of everybody. And that helps him to allow Terrakanna to maneuver around the Autarch and go nom 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 on the kirin. Yeah, and she says that the kirin's like one leg is sticking out of his mouth. Like, so there's zero doubt in anybody's mind that he has the Golden Kirin in his mouth. I'd love to see it come back from that. With the Golden Kirin being out of the picture, the Autarch is now a lot more killable, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word I want to say, but Volke keeps chipping away at the armor, and as Legolas had so elegantly put at the Battle of Helm's Deep, that the armor is weakest at the neck and under the armpits, so too is the Autarch's, and Volke, he just keeps putting blow after blow there, ends up cleaving his head off with one final blow.
In the words of Gimli, it still only counts as one.
Yes.
Chapter 49 is the Architect. We wake up back at the apothecary. Gilly is healing Volke. He is able to use his arm We do also see Eviana, so she's alive. It seems kind of the only major death is Orwin's Kirin, which is very minimal considering what they were up against. They did, however, lose almost all of the mortal soldiers, and they do have to actually go and protect the corpses of the god creatures to keep Mystic Seekers or other people from trying to steal parts of it to use for trinkets or artifacts. Most of the city has been destroyed, but Adelgis does talk with Volke and says that he does want to help Volke essentially rebuild everything, and kind of build his own dynasty. Do both.
And from there, we flash forward to 10 years in the future with Chapter 50, Birthday Ghosts. Volke wakes up in his bed to his two children, the oldest being a boy named William, and looks like Volke ended up winning that bet of having the first boy. We also have Riley, who is the middle child, that are both dressed in sheets with eye holes cut out that are just a little bit too far apart to be able to look out properly. And along comes the youngest, Livia. Oh, I was so happy to read this.
I know. It's so cute.
She has Livia is coming in with a vase full of flowers for Volke for his birthday. As Volke is waking up still, he's kind of feeling like there's something off, but he can't really quite place that. So he just kind of goes about his day, and he's enjoying seeing his children dressing up as birthday ghosts and trying to give him these flowers. Volke does describe his home as a modest mansion because it's smaller than the estate that he had in Fortuna. I still imagine it's a fairly large...
It's not small by any means.
Right. It's just not as big as. We see Eviana. Give me 1 second. Okay. Eviana ends up coming in and agreeing, and we see that she has in fact had her magic runes enchanted, as well as she has the emerald green, and I think it was red was the other color that was in her tattoos. So we know that Volke gave her some of his powers, and whomever else may have some kind of like fire ability gave her some abilities as well, her magic runes. We also hear that Volke has been working with Adelgis to build what is called the Astra Academy, and he feels like throughout the day, like again, he's being pulled to a destination, but again, he can't really place why.
After 51 Eternal Stars, Terra kind of does come and say, hey, it's time to go. Volke does not say farewell. Considering he made this mistake once with Eviana already, I was very surprised to read this. There also, unfortunately, is no Luther, which was sad. It never seemed to have found. Mm-hmm. We do find out that the plague was cured. There are also a lot of Reapers that were born in Fortuna out of the battle. And Volke does finally arrive at this destination. The other god Arcanists start to arrive as well. Everyone keeps saying that it's time. We do find out that Zaxxas and Ilya also have 2 kids. Kiva did somehow live and make it through. Erwin has a kid named Elias. Riker and Karna travel the world together, which is so cute. And pretty much nobody told their significant others. So it seems kind of rude, but William shows up. He's been hunting pirates with Lucian, and finally we do get the Apoc dragon showing up. So giant dragon, it starts to glow inside, and it starts to kind of one by one just and there's not really a fight, there's not really anything going on. It's just kind of this, people accepting their fate. So it's a sad moment with kind of all the God Arcanists and their Eldrin dying. Linus is stepping right up. He's like, finally, I've been waiting for this for so long. And he does get referred to as the savior instead of the monster, which is a great kind of turn from the original monster Arcanist.
I don't remember who said it, but he even made a reference to being called the monster. And I think it might have been Zor or somebody else that said that was like, I see no monster here. So that definitely like gives you that good feeling that he's definitely turned around and earned his new title.
So we end the chapter. There's no real battle, just kind of the slowly killing off everyone.
And even though I knew this was coming, I still legitimately cried reading this.
It's tough because you do know it's coming, but it's also like one of the best written endings. So I am very impressed. Endings are by no means easy to write, and this one was set up for a while coming. Like, it made sense, it fit. You're like, oh, this is going to happen, it has to happen, that's the way things work. It's sad, but it does feel like, completion of an age.
And especially the way that Volke handles it, because obviously he was going to fight. They wanted to fight to see if they can avoid dying, but he kind of realizes it as they're going over there that there's too much magic in the world now. They're having new trees sprouting up that are impossible to cut down, and all this other random things that are happening, especially like the dryads. It's like Terracotta just wants to make sure the dryads are taken care of. Fuck, dude.
There's thousands.
Yes. And I like the way that Volke was able to rest easy now. This was a very amazing ending, or so we thought.
Dun, dun.
So I'm like, chapter 52, like, what do you mean there's a chapter 50? There's another chapter after this one? Like, they all died. So in chapter 52, Forgiveness, Volke awakes on the beach of Old Fortuna, surrounded by all of the god creature bones. And he's kind of in an awestruck moment. He's not sure if this is real life, if this is the abyssal hells, like what's going on. Is this what the afterlife is like? Turns out Addie and Luther came to say hi, and that Addie, on her self-discovery adventure, she was able to achieve true form with Titania, and which would, with the true form ability, allows a limited number of people to be brought back from the dead, and I believe that number is 8. There's also a time stipulation. I think it's 10 years of them being deceased is when she can bring them back, so it's not infinite. It's not like you can go get somebody or anybody you wanted to grab from the dead, but so she ends up bringing all 7 of the god Arcanists back. And poor Linus. He's like, I was so close. We do have a Delgis with Addie coming up as well. He's saying that he was bringing Luther to Volke's home for his birthday, so we know this is the same day, or at least we think so. We also find out that Delgis ended up bonding with a female sphinx, which is the all-seeing sphinxes that we had talked about when we were in New Nora, that were waiting to be bonded, and his sphinx's name is Nubia. Zaxxas is absolutely over the moon that he is still alive, and he is absolutely thankful to Addie for her bringing everybody back. And it's just, again, that nice heart, like nice knowing that she ended up achieving the true form. She didn't use any of her true form abilities on any of her family members, because that's all her family members wanted out of her. And she knew that she was probably going to need her true form ability to help the god Arcanist come back. Luther he's back. He didn't die, didn't get killed. The Salvation Aura cured him from the plague. He still has the spikes, like the really menacing spikes on him, but he remembers Volke. He remembers that Volke is his Arcanist, and that they are back together again to rebond. And this is where Grandmaster Arcanist ends. And like I said, such mind explosion, such an amazing ending to this book, and such an amazing ending to the series. And it does allude to a couple of things going on in the next couple series actually, as we have the Astro Academy series, and we also have the Crown Tournament series. On this reread, when we were talking about Orwin and Akiva having a child named it was like, oh my god, they did say that earlier. So this is a character we're going to see into the Crown Tournament series, and then with the Delegus at the Astro Academy, this is the main premise of the next series that we're going to be going into, which is the Astro Academy series. Scott, what are your thoughts here? I know, again, you're reading this as they're coming out, so this is
most of Addie's journey for getting a true form Phoenix does happen once Volke has Terracana, so it is being set up pretty much like 3 or 4 books ago for Addie to come in and be this savior to everyone and bring Luther back. And like, this was a long build up to be able to get here, and just a great little positive surprise ending for it.
And absolutely kudos to Shammy for not only setting this up so many books ago, but making sure that we don't get too involved with Addie as being a potential trothel between her and Volke, so that she can go on her own adventure, come back and revive everybody at the end. Like, there were so many times where I'm like, I cannot understand why Addie is doing this, and she makes you wait to the very freaking last chapter to see why she did this. So again, just
see Addie's full character arc of like, oh, my family is using me.
So absolutely kudos to Shammy for setting this up so far ago, and to be able to get this full circle. I mean, shoot, she even, if you really wanted to, you could say that she set this up the very first book, in the first half of it, talking about how she needs to be as pure as she can so that she can achieve a true form Phoenix as fast as she can. So I feel like we need to have like a whole episode just to talk over the series.
One little debrief episode.
Right. We actually may do that. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I'd be open for
We are going to dive into some more of the Arcanist Fables stories coming up next week. And I know we talked about, we're going to do the story with Mathis. Or I'm gonna go over the story of Mathis and the last Dreamweaver story, and I think Scott, I don't remember which ones you're picking out.
I was gonna do it's Zelfrey and Linus figuring out names.
So we're getting some more in depth on some of those chapters, and we're probably getting pretty close to being through the book essentially of the stories. And again, Shammy, whenever you get a chance to, you know, write another one, we're more than willing and more than excited for it. But with the Astro Academy series, we are going to be getting more into the bestiary. We saved a lot of the bestiaries for the creatures that are coming up in the Astro series, so we will be definitely getting back into the bestiary, and hopefully we're going to have an update on our bestiary, the second one that's coming out, the Dread Forms, and some more of the other bestiaries. So definitely excited. A lot of things coming up. But thank you so much, everybody, for coming along this ride with us. Hopefully you stick around to the next series. And if you can like, share, subscribe with us, let us know we're doing a good job. And then also the links for the Frith Chronicles Wiki and the Discord server is going to be down below for you to check out. And Scott, did you have anything else you'd like to add?
Just looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, boy. New story. All right, with that, we'll see you guys next week.